co-scholastic areas are divided into many parts like yoga, sports, meditation, art and craft, music, dance, co-curricular activities, and assembly. Today we'll see what actually the objectives of these things and what exactly we being the teachers or we being the members of the school administration should take care of how to implement this. हम योगा स्पोर्ट्स मेडिटेशन ये सारी चीज़ों को स्कूल में कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं वो देखेंगे. So the main objective is that learners should be enabled to know about the co-scholastic domain in the school, how it is formed, and they should understand the importance of yoga, sports, meditation, art and craft, music, dance, co-curricular, and the importance of assembly. Nowadays, it's not only teaching, only teacher talk method. Rather, we are now for the holistic or the overall development of the students. तो हम now students को bookish knowledge के अलावा उनको फिजिकली मेंटली स्पिरिचुअली स्ट्रांग बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं एंड सीबीएसई इज आफ्टर दिस टू implement these basic practices as the part of the curriculum. Now the first aspect is yoga. Yoga, you can see the diversions, how it is divided. Yamas means external disciplines, the disciplines which we get from the outer sources. We'll come to it in detail. Next is niyama. Niyama is internal discipline, the discipline which comes from within us. Then asana. Asana, when yoga comes, asana is associated with it commonly. Pranayam, we are very much acquainted with this word. Then pratyahara, dharana, dhyana. I'll come to each and every one in detail. The first is yoga in school yamas. First is ahimsa. We give value education to the student. We keep on narrating stories. We conduct some plays or some role plays, teaching them to follow non-violence. We stop our student to being violent. Then next is satya. We keep on motivating them to be truthful. झूठ ना बोले, सच्चाई का साथ दे, हमेशा सत्य बोले. This is the thing which we keep on using in our school. असत्य, असत्य, indiscipline, non-stealing, these things we keep on motivating the student. If you have done something wrong, you must accept it, you must agree to it. Don't do something which is not honest, don't be dishonest. Aparigraha means non-greed. There shouldn't be greed in anyone's heart. Nobody should be greedy. Not in any case. Lalach nahi karna hai. These are the things, yamas, which I told. These are the external discipline which a child learns from his surroundings, from the school. Next is niyama. Niyama can be called as something rules which we follow, like swachh, cleanliness. We keep on talking about hygiene. We keep on checking the nails and the uniform, even their physical appearance, just to make the students neat and clean, just to follow the cleanliness. Then santosh, contentment. Contentment means when you are satisfied, you are fully satisfied. So these things we much must teach our students that we should not be greedy. We should be satisfied. What is what we get, what we receive. We should not revolt back. Next is tapas. That is discipline. All the schools are up to it. Everybody is strict towards discipline. Discipline doesn't mean giving brutal punishment. Discipline doesn't mean giving physical punishment. Discipline is to follow the rules and regulations which are generated by the schools, which are being followed in every schools, and it is expected from the students also to follow. Then swadhyaya, self-study. It's not only the teacher is giving the content and everything is given by the teacher, and the child is only grabbing the things. No, the child has to study by himself or herself as well. And Ishvara Pranidhara, it is beyond something, it is surrendering to the higher power. So it is not possible exactly for those kids in the school, it is something of upper level. So let's move to pranayama. Basic breathing techniques, basic pranayam, deep breathing breaks, we can have after 2 periods or within the uh, commencement of the first period. We can have a breathing break. We can ask a student to uh, take deep breath or to inhale, exhale. It will take a minute time, and then after 2 3 periods we can practice. It's not the pranayam which Ramdev Baba is teaching us, but a part of it, a small breathing practice. We can be helpful in making our kids physically and mentally strong. This is actually the objective of introducing yoga in the school, so that they'll be able to concentrate more. If they are physically fit, their concentration power will definitely increase, improve. Now, next is Pratyahara. It is something, a very good practice. We can have mindful practice of Pratyahara if we ask a child, read these 2 lines. So we can ask him or her, read completely, go into deep into it, use your mind, involve yourself into it, and then read. Not for the sake of reading, read to understand. Similarly, if the child is eating, ask the child, eat, focus on your eating. Don't switch on your TV, don't talk to your friends, don't do other activities apart from eating. Do mindful eating. Put your entire mind in your eating. That is pratyahara. If, say, for example, you can go for an activity in the class, stretch your hand or lift your hand. Once the child has lifted hand, ask the child to concentrate his mind completely on that palm of his or her. So the child will concentrate fully on it and his mind is not roaming around anywhere. So this way we can have more of their concentration towards us, and which will help in their education. Okay, next is meditation. The next part is meditation, which is very, very important. We can have meditation, 2 minutes meditation before the class begins. It's a basic exercise just for concentration. Nowadays, we know the kids are very easily diverted from their path. Even they are very, very aggressive. They don't listen. Nowadays, due to this lockdown period, the children are getting more hyper. They are getting more restless. Even our kids are also at the same level. But if we do this dhyana or dharana, this basic exercise of meditation, nothing, just 2 minutes, close your eyes and take, breathe in, breathe out. If if being a teacher, we can help them to just give command that, okay, take deep breath, forget whatever is coming in your mind, just concentrate on your goal, or maybe let whatever is coming to your mind, listen to it, then we'll discuss later on. So let the child keep on concentrating, keep on meditating. So through regular meditation and regular mindful reading, mindful eating, even we can ask students to ask questions, mindful questions, the question which comes from mind. So what will happen? We'll be able to make a very good human being. We'll be able to develop a very good human being. Now, next category is sports. So, it is a competitive physical activity which is recognized as activity based on athleticism or physical dexterity. Means the things which are done by us, which we do for our physical development. Especially dexterity is doing by using hands. And CBSE has announced one compulsory period for class 1 to 12 for the session 2019-20. So from last session onwards, it has become mandatory to give one period specifically to sports and physical education, because many areas CBSE has developed in this part. And the main aim of CBSE is to provide a focused curriculum for health and physical education as well as life skills, because these days education is not limited to bookish knowledge. As I already told, it is holistic development. It is overall development of the students. So they should be physically, mentally uh, healthy, as well as they should have their life skills and values. Life skills are the skills which are very important to live a healthy life. There are 10 life skills, and those life skills, if the child can identify in him or her, then they are called as a perfect human being, means a good human being. Okay, so what are the objectives of physical education? First is physical fitness and skills. Next, mental alertness, ethical qualities, the values. When we are playing with group or when we are playing with our friends, we should know how to respect the uh, how to respect others. Constructive social abilities, when we are working in a group, when we are playing in a group, so we develop our social skills. Next is emotional maturity. With the objective of physical education, our emotional skills are developed. Emotional skills, coping with stress, coping with emotions. You must have seen when the children they play, they are very much up to the playing. They keep on their concentration and they are very happy. And if you uh, contrast two students, one is playing outdoor game and another one who is playing indoor game in a mobile phone or a laptop or a desktop, the child becomes more irritating as compared to the one who goes to the field and play. So this is the difference, this is the objective. Okay, now the four CBSE has divided sports into sports and physical education into four strands. The first strand is games and sports. Out of this, every child has to take part in one, either athletics or swimming, any of the team games, any individual game, or any adventure sports. Most importantly, these all are under efficient supervision of the experts. Now, second strength is health and fitness. Those Khelo India project in which the height, weight, and how much the stamina of the children are, everything is included in that. So that keeps the fitness record of a child, health and fitness record. If the child has any sort of illness, any deadly disease, so everything is maintained by a school in a health and activity card. So this card is forwarded from class to class. So the development, the improvement of a child's health can be noted. Now next is Seva. Seva, HPE and Seva are the new introduction by CBSE. We'll come to it later. Now these are the periods which are divided. For games, there should be 90 period, and health and fitness, there should be 50 periods. Seva should be 50 periods. Health and activity card should be maintained in 10 periods. And the marks which are allotted, we give these marks as grades. These marks are converted into grades, and these grades are displayed in the mark sheet of class 10 students. We give grades for their physical and health education. After calculating, after doing these all activities, then we give them grade at the end of the session. Now these are the sports. Maybe there are more sports which is a school offer. Generally, these are the things which are there in the school: basketball, football, squash, skating, archery, judo, cricket, athletic. karate, kabaddi, kho, many more. And see, health and physical education seva. These are the projects which are given by CBSE. So what we do in our school is we divide each project among different sections. Maybe for class 6th A, we give the first project. For 7th A, we give the second project. For 8th A, third. And in this way, we keep on using many sections with different projects which are given by CBSE. From it's there in health manual. Next, you see what all projects are. Sports and physical activities, importance of sports and physical activities. Then old age. The students visit the old age homes. They note down the activities which are going there. They keep on asking the old age people. They used to donate some warm clothes, woolen clothes, and some groceries just to have those social skills development program. These are under the social skill development program. Then Swachh Neighborhood, Swachh India, cleanliness and sanitation. You students can visit to their neighboring areas. They can motivate people. They can keep on awareing people regarding maintenance of cleanliness. And even students are given the project to help the people, those are homeless, or the animals, the stray animals, they the ones they doesn't have any home. So the children, they went to the railway stations or those areas, the temples. There they used to give food or some fruits and breads or some chapatis to the animals, even cooked food to those beggars, those who live in the railway stations. And in this way they can be sensitive towards these people. They will understand that they get all the facilities, they get all the perks in life, but there are definitely many people, and even those harmless animals, they are there who are deprived of these kind of facilities. And then orphanage, how the students are able to understand the value of being in a family. So when they visit orphanage and they can understand how the orphans are doing, whether they are mistreated or not, whether they are in bad condition or not. So these things they keep on noting, and they do their best by helping them. They take some games, those indoor games with them, some playway materials with them, groceries, food articles, some chocolates, wafers, so that they can make those children happy, maybe for a day, maybe for some period of time. And they also understand the ethics for employment of labor, how the person gets work, how they are working. And then the last one is 3 R's: reuse, recycle, reduce, saving. How we can improve our environment from getting degraded. So these are the projects which are given by CBSE, and these are the projects which are given to classes, the sections, and they used to follow it. At the end of the session, they make a project file with the photographs when they visit, with the details they have taken, and then the project is ready to send to CBSE. And the detail of it, you can get it in CBSE website. So how can we make a sports schedule? A specific calendar is prepared for sports, in which every day one period is allotted for games and sports, either games and sport, either any game a day, or 3 days in a week. One day for physical education, one day for PT drill, one day for HPE. In HPE, it is divided. There are many, I guess 45 projects are there. So every class gets these. I have given only some examples. So you can, if you visit CBSE site for HPE projects, you will get, and those projects are given to different classes. and those students keep on following those. And in physical education, one day there can be running, jogging, one day yoga, one day PT drill. So in this way, the entire things are divided. And even students are being trained on regular intervals, maybe after the school hours or before the school hours, so that they become efficient, they become eligible to participate in inter-school, district, state, and national level games. So they become that efficient in being the sports star. Next, we also know that CBSE offers physical education as a subject, as a diversified subject. The students of class 11 can opt PE as fifth subject or an additional sixth subject. That is completely their choice. If they are taking fifth subject as computer uh, science or maybe IP or maybe any other subject, so additional sixth subject they can take as PE, physical education. Now this art integrated education. Nowadays, when we were kids, we used to read from our books and our teacher used to explain, used to give the question answers, or we were asked to solve the questions. That was all. But now, in order to make teaching more interesting, CBSE has added or integrated art with education. And art integration, uh, it integrates with performing art as well as fine arts. For art, if we talk about art, we generally talk about drawing, painting. That is only art, but it is this art is not limited to that. We the art sphere has become more. Now your music, dance, drama, culinary art means the cooking skill. Everything comes under art. Everything has become integrated. Everything has been integrated with education. And what is the objective of art integrated learning? And it starts from upper primary level. And what are the objective? Explore multiple perspectives of concepts. What are the perspectives? What is the concept behind art integrated? To explore everything. Students can have constructive knowledge of themes, subjects, and the concept so that they are aware of interdisciplinary connection. Say, for example, if you're teaching maths, and if I ask you, integrate art in maths, will you be able to integrate? You have to think because we haven't studied like this. But now we can do it. There are various art forms, there are various drawing forms which shows mathematical structures, mathematical figures, like Varli art. If you see, the body of those dancers or the paintings are triangles, the face is a circle, and the hands are straight lines. So in this way, if the whole drawing is a circular one, we can ask the kids to find out the patterns. They can find out the patterns, they can measure the areas. And similarly, there are wrapping papers. You must have seen the wrapping papers nowadays have triangle, squares, or something hexagon, or something 3D kind of uh, structure. So we can ask the students to read those wrapping papers and can have their own understanding. They can do this. If we are teaching science, we can use a role play. We can use any art form, drawing, something, a puppet or some anything. We can use any way if we wish to add art in our subject. Now see what all art integrated pedagogies we can have. First, we have to select a topic or theme. Then we have to inquire how we can make it creative, and then how it will be a reflection on the student, how the students are going to understand if we use this art form. And once it is done, then we'll give that particular question to our students. So I'm giving an example. If it is a chapter of English, there's a chapter in English class 9, Sound of Music. So Sound of Music comes, it's the story of Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he was the Shehnai maestro. We can ask our students to find out how many Shehnai maestros are there in the world, to collect their pictures, to collect their biography, and to compare it with Ustad Bismillah Khan, who is the better. So this is also integration of art. The students are going to find it out. Or if we ask them, just get a recording, just get a music of means the Shehnai, which was played by Bismillah Khan. Can you? The students can give a link that, ma'am, if you click this link, you'll go to that channel. You can listen to the music. And if I say, if there's a poem, the name of the poet is Robert Frost. So we can ask the student, find out how many poems related to this particular poem. Maybe it's a dust of snow related to nature, devastation of nature. How many poems, how many poets have written? So we can give them an extra activity which will enhance their learning in that particular subject. Now, see, these are the activities which we can use as teaching tools. Role play, very easy. If you're teaching atmosphere, science, you're teaching atmosphere, make your kids different parts of atmosphere, or uh, make someone oxygen, someone air, someone nitrogen, someone some other thing, and let them introduce themselves. As what is the role of oxygen in atmosphere? Let the child speak. So when something will happen practically, the entire class will learn it. That will be memorized, that will be there in their mind. Video making, filmmaking, nowadays it will help a lot because kids are at home, they can explore many things. They will be able to make videos of their being in the period during the lockdown, or whatever the subjects you are teaching. You can give a topic so the children can make a video, they can make a documentary. Photography you can use, ask them, if I am teaching landscape, landforms, the students can click pictures of different landforms. They'll come with different pictures. If we are teaching costumes or dresses of a particular state or of India, of any country. So the children can have photograph clicked of those particular dresses. We can ask them to make PPTs, even we can use PPTs in our teaching method. There are certain part which we can use Photoshop or other apps to design a chapter. We can take our student to visit a historical monument. When we are teaching about historical monuments, we can take our kids to visit a historical monument and tell them what all the history behind that monuments. We can ask them to make a documentary, make a film, a video on that, sketching, then clay modeling or sculpture making, dance performance. There are certain topics which can be performed with dance. So we, the teacher, has to be very vigilant or very creative so that we can think differently. Next is creating art reservoir using waste material. We keep on motivating our children to make something best out of waste. And we can keep those things in a reservoir, mean in a storehouse, which we can use it any other time. A jewelry making, paper quilling, these are also art activities. Then art exhibition, what all art form which we have used in our teaching method, which we have used in our classrooms, those we can display in a in an exhibitions. Now see, this only it was a pictorial form. We can use narratives, we can use stories, we can use poetry to describe a chapter. It's not limited to language chapter only. We can use poetry, a song, anything related to any of the chapter. For that, we have to be very creative. So these are the things we can use a story. If we are teaching a SST chapter and the chapter is a big one, and maybe some of the student they lose interest in between the chapter. But if we convert the entire chapter in the form of story, with proper intonation, proper voice modulation, definitely the child is going to remember it. We can have a flash mob, Nukkar Natak, the street plays. Just we have to think something different. We can have a collage of something. If we are teaching World War, we can have different pictures of either destruction or any other things which happened there. Then we can have crafts, wood and metal work, printing, and many, many other things. Even comic strips. The chapters can be converted into comic strip. Means a picture is drawn, and on the head there should be a bubble, and in that bubble, the dialogue is written. So this will give more interest. These we can create in our presentations, the PPTs. Now, see, these are actually the art and craft activities which we conduct in our school as competitions, drawing and coloring, origami, flag making, diya decoration. So these are the activities which we generally conduct in the schools. There are more. Master chef, as I told you, that culinary skill is also now part of art integration. It is also now art integrated approach. CBSE has introduced culinary cooking skills in the school curriculum. So maybe a far less cooking, maybe a salad making, maybe something or other. We can give students different classes, or once a week or twice a week, this kind of classes are conducted, and the competitions at the end of the month. Now, this is the rubrics to judge art and craft activities which are held in the schools. Creativity and originality, whether the art form or the craft which the child has made is original or it is something different, it is creative, it's nothing copied from. And what all effort and perseverance, how the child has involved himself or herself and put how much effort in doing this, that is to be judged. Craftsmanship or skill, how skilled the child is, how good craftsman the child is, this we come to know and we put a marks. And cooperation and time management, if it is a group work, if it is a peer work, so how it they have cooperated with their peers or friends, and how they have managed the time, because every activity is limited to an hour or a half an hour or an hour, that is the limitation. And how beautifully the child has managed the time. So the child who has managed the time beautifully and completed his or her task faster than others gets the maximum point. And even CBSE offers fine painting and fine arts as the fifth and sixth diversified subject in class 11th and 12th. Similar to physical education, PE, painting and fine arts are also part of CBSE curriculum. It's there in the syllabus. If the students wish to take it as fifth subject, they can take it as fifth subject. If they want an additional subject as painting and fine arts, they take it as sixth subject. Now we come to music. See, music is not only the rhythm or the lyrics or something, it helps in language development as well. It increases IQ, it increases temporal skills, spatial skills, and improves test scores. Means all those motor skills, social and emotional skill, everything is upgraded, everything is uh, developed through music and music education. So, to inculcate art and music in this curriculum, CBSE has added music also as a subject. See, what is the objective of using music? To enjoy. Nowadays, what happened is traditional music is losing its importance day by day, as all the kids nowadays are after Western music. Maybe to make the students develop more interest in the music, in the traditional music, if it is included in the subject, the students take more interest and they learn, they enjoy the music because they don't know exactly what the traditional form of music is. They just run after those television shows which are showing the Western music, Western dance. Then the second objective is to promote self expression. How you can express yourself. The music gives you the platform, the music gives you the chance to express yourself. Then it promotes participation and performance in singing as well as in instrumental activities. It's not restricted to singing alone. It is also playing different instruments. There are many instruments which are played. So it's not only singing, music doesn't mean only singing, only song, but instrumental practices, activities as well. And this gives confidence, and the skills are developed by communicating, by composing music, by recording the music. The child becomes more confident. They develop their confidence. Now, what can be the musical activities in the school? Annual day is celebrated once in a year. So most of the students from different classes, they participate in this program. Even I just told you diversified subject is being taught, and throughout the session Hindustani music as a curriculum is taught to the students, and the students also perform in various musical events not only at school but outside the school at state, national and even international level. Some solo song, group song, instrumental playing, competitions, these are held under those co-curricular activities which are conducted every week. So once in a month or in a fortnight, one or other music competitions are conducted. So these are the rubrics which we can use for the judgment of music. Even World Music Day is celebrated every year. So the children, they compose their song or they perform their music on this day. Even virtually also this day was celebrated. And you can see the rubrics of judgment for music competition. Pitch is important. It should be rhythmic. Rhythm is important. Expression, how the child is expressing. Memory, how the child has learned the song, the lyrics of the song. Or if the child is playing an instrument, how the music is learned by the child. No, without committing a mistake. So that is it. Presentation, very important. Presentation doesn't mean the physical appearance. How you succeeded in grabbing the attention of the people while you are presenting with your presentation. Next, these are the courses which is offered by CBSE for class 9th and 10th. Even sixth subject, this music is included in class 9th and 10th. If the student wants, they can opt for this. Carnatic music, vocal, as well as melodic instruments, percussion instruments. Percussion means those drums, tabla means something which is beaten. So those they can use. Then Hindustani music, again the three types. So the five subjects which are compulsory, computer application can be taken as a sixth subject, or any one of the above music subject can be opted by the students of class 9th and 10th. And the syllabus of it, if any child is interested, they can visit cbseacademics.in in the website to get the syllabus. The detailed syllabus is there. Total 100 marks is for the subject, 30 marks for theory, and 70 marks practical. And even CBSE offers fifth and sixth subject like PE, painting and fine arts. Music is also included as fifth and sixth diversified subject in class 11th and 12th. But here, Carnatic music is not offered. Only Hindustani music is offered. So the child who wants to take vocal, they take vocal. The one who wanted to go for melodic instrument, they go for that. And if anybody wants to go for percussion instrument, they can take that. Again, the CBSE academics.in website, it has the entire syllabus, the curriculum of it, and total marks, again, it is 100, theory 30, practical 70 marks. Now we come to dance. What is the benefit of dance? When in dance, when the body moves, the entire rhythm of the music, it flows in the body, which is a very powerful tool to express the facial expression and powerful form of art which impels skillful performers into something intensively expressive. Means the child can intensively express themselves while dancing. You, if you observe a dancer, you can find the happiness, the smile is always there on the face, and that smile comes automatically, and the body moves with the rhythm of the music. So they don't care for the world, rather, they care for the dancing. And in this way, they develop cultural values, and this helps them to coordinate, to cooperate with the people. So, what is the objective? It helps child to open up and express his or her emotions through this art form. It develops confidence in the child when the child comes on stage and perform. The stage fear is there among everyone. But when the child, when a dancer come and perform on the stage, that confidence they get from their dance form. They learn to maintain the rhythm. They learn the cultural heritage of our country. Different dance forms teaches. Different dance forms teach us different cultural heritage of our country. Even it also develops the quality to be socialized. When the child goes to perform interstate competition, inter-school competition, they come in contact with other people, other dance form, other culture of any other state where they are going to perform. So they learn from there. They learn the cultural heritage. They learn how to be socialized because they have to be presentable as they are representing their state. They become disciplined, they become sincere, they listen to their mentor, they follow their leader, and they perform their best. So, this is the main objective. And CBSE offered dance as fifth and sixth diversified subjects for class 11th and 12th. So, any of the dance form can be selected, and any Indian classical dance like Kathak, Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Odissi, Manipuri, Kathakali, any dance form a child can choose as his fifth or sixth subject. Similarly, this subject is also of 100 marks, 30 marks for theory and 70 marks for practical. Theory is generally based on the origin of the dance or origin of the music and different dance form, the gharanas, everything. So these all are there in the syllabus, and detail of the syllabus can, if anybody wants to visit, they can visit cbseacademics.in for the entire syllabus. Now, what all activities can be conducted? Dance activities throughout the session in this school. Annual day, the best platform for every dancer to perform. Maximum students participate. The one who doesn't know how to dance also learn dancing within that rehearsal period, maybe a 15 days or maybe a month. They learn how to dance. They develop this quality. Maybe a beginner, maybe a amateur, but still they perform their best. As I told you, the subjects like Kathak, Bharatnatyam can be chosen as subjects which are taught in the school. Even many events are organized. It's not only annual function, Teachers' Day, any other celebration, farewell, any other events. Whenever there is a chance, the students, the dancers performs. Even Many co-curricular activities, competitions are held, like solo dance competition, group dance competition. So these are all part of dance activities, and this is the rubrics for judgment. Creativity is important, how the formation and transitions are taking place, placement, if there are 10 dances, how they are performing, how the placement is given to them, whether they are following it or not, synchronization, how they are synchronizing with each other, rhythm, whether they are following the rhythm or not, dress up, makeup, use of prop, these also are very important for the judgment of dance performance. Now we come to co-curricular activities. In co-curricular activities, we have our student council, we have teaching aids exhibition, special day celebration, wallpaper bulletin means the news headlines on the bulletin boards, magazine we have, horizon, sports activities, cultural programs, and many other. So, what is the actually the objective of co-curricular activities? Is to give better fitness to students and to inculcate a sense of sportsmanship, competitive spirit, leadership, meticulousness, cooperation, teamwork, and team spirit. The students from the very basic uh, point of education, they learn these things. Bit by bit, they learn. The main motive behind all this is to develop self confidence and how to trust your team, how to build trust for your team, how to develop yourself. So, in this way, this is the goal of using co curricular activities in the school. And even it improves the learning experiences. It helps the student to identify and develop their inner talents like creativity, public speaking skills, leadership qualities. If we make a student council, we make heads of different clubs. I'll come to it. And they take care of the entire clubs under the guidance of the club in charges, teachers. And co-curricular activities, it gives them a platform so that they can think unusually. They can think out of the box. And so many innovative ideas we get, you will never imagine, because students with their fresh mindset, they are full with energy, full with innovative ideas. So what is the benefit of co-curricular activities? First, we develop social skill, relation building, and even when the student participate in co-curricular activities with other students of different classes, different grades, so they develop a interpersonal relationship, which is part of social skill. And in many cases, when they go, means they participate with their juniors or their seniors, they develop a long lasting friendships. Even a class 5 student can have a very good relationship, a very good friendship with a student of class 10. Maybe just because once they have participated together in a house event or in a club event. So, what else benefit we give it to the students? Time management skill. The students learn how to manage time, exploring the plethora of interest, the interest they can explore to their extent. If they are interested in particular field, they prepare themselves, and while preparing they keep on exploring. Next is developing self esteem. When they learn something different, when they participate differently, their self esteem is developed. They start loving themselves, they start believing themselves, and definitely there's a commitment. They feel committed that they will practice these things in futures. They are going to follow these development in future as well. Now, what else? Better physical and mental health. It creates opportunities. It gives a sense of responsibility and confidence. It develops special skills. It gives exposure to new activities. and how to design a co-curricular activity calendar. A well-planned calendar can be made maybe once in a week or once in a fortnight for every classes, 1 to 1 group, 3 to 5 1 group, 6 7 8 1 group, 9 10 1 group, 11 12 1 group can have the similar type of competitions based on their standard. It can be primary, middle, secondary and senior secondary. So either last period of every Friday or Saturday in a week can be dedicated to inter-house competitions. All competitions we can give it to the houses. That this is the competition, it will be house wise. So you choose the students, let everybody participate and let the winner be decided. Then inter-house competitions are conducted where students won different competitions and each house are given points. Points are added to the point table of each house. We can have this. We actually practice this. That's why I have made this. If a child scores the first position, won the first position, we give 5 points to the house. Second position house get 4 points. Third position 3 points, and the consolation one. There are certain competitions where the participation is maximum. At that time, we give 1 point. And similarly, if the child is a winner of state level competition, the child gets 10 points. If it is a zonal level winner, the winner gets 15 points. National winner get 20 points. And international winners, we also have international winners. So that house gets 30 points for one international winning. Now we come to co-scholastic. Co-scholastics work in these four areas: attitude and values. It's again the same thing, holistic development. Attitudes and values, like attitude towards the teacher. The student's attitude towards the teacher is marked. Attitude towards peers or friends or classmates or any other schoolmate, school property, school programs, environment, environment in whole. So these attitudes and values are marked with 3 point scale. I'll discuss the point scale in the later slides. Now, second comes your life skills. There are 10 life skills: emotional 2, thinking 3, and 5 social skills. These skills are measured by 5 point scale. Again, scales will come to later. Will come later. Then participation and achievement, club activities, scientific, creative, aesthetic. So this is graded in 3 point scale. Health and physical education, swimming, first aid, NCC, NSS, yoga. This is evaluated in 3 point scale. Now, what is the co-scholastic activities? These are conducted for meeting the students' necessities by covering a wide range of their talents as well as their capabilities. We give them a platform, we give them opportunities so that their life skills, the skills which are there, which are inherited in them, but they don't know. To inculcate those skills, these co-scholastic activities are very important. They play a very important role. Their inner talents, like leadership qualities, creative skills, and many more are developed with the help of these co-scholastic activities. Now, see how we can conduct co-scholastic activities. We can conduct various club activities. We can have many clubs like literary, art club, cultural club, then sports club, social service club, many. As per now, CBSE has made it mandatory to have heritage club. So we can have Ek Bharat, Shesh Bharat club. So these are the clubs which we can form in the school, and we can make students as the head of those clubs under the mentorship of, definitely a teacher will be a mentor, and the students get the free hand to perform the activities. Even they suggest, even they propose some of the activities. And once the student council is elected, they conduct their meetings in the absence of the teacher, and they conduct various activities with the other students, those uh, and the club activity is performed. Now, see, we can have many, and now health and wellness club is also very important. We can have many clubs in our schools, and based on the life skills, based on the co-scholastic areas, we can have as many clubs as we want. We can have a eco club to maintain the environment. We can have literary club for the development of the speaking skills and the literary work. Art and craft for the culture. Even we have a heritage club to maintain the heritage of the country. Now see, I was talking about grade points. So these are the grade points for co-scholastic activities. For life skills, we have 5-point grading: A plus A, B plus B, and C. These grades are displayed in the mark sheet of class 10th. It was in CC pattern. Nowadays, we don't have this, but still, internally, we can assess the students with these grade points. Attitude and values have 3 grade points: A plus A and B. Sports also A plus A and B. Nowadays, we are giving for sports, work education, and art education. This grading we give. Uh, for 5-point grading, A, B, C, D, E, it range from 4.1 to 5 is A grade, 3.1 to 4 is B grade, 2.1 to 3 is C grade, and 1.1 to 2 is D grade, and 0 to 1.0 is E grade. Now we come to assembly. What is the objective of an assembly and what exactly assembly is? Every morning assembly begins the day, a new day in a school. All the students assemble in the ground and the day starts with a prayer. Then the news are read, some instructions are given. Sometimes students perform in the assembly. We have two types of assemblies. One is the general assembly, where each section has to perform assembly on a topic given. And we also celebrate the special days marked by UNESCO as special assemblies. So, what exactly the objective of these assembly are? The main thing is to develop a feeling of unity and integration when everyone, the entire school is standing together. A feeling of unity that yes, we are part of our school. We all belong to this school. We all are one. Then, if there is any important announcement of that particular day, if any program is scheduled, if any daily activity is there, so at a time, every child gets the information. The students also develop a sense of identity in the school that yes, I am known here. The child is allowed to perform on stage during the assembly. The child has his own identity about it. Then they also learn the experiential moments with anecdotes and stories and other co curricular activities. When there is a special visitor, there is a special judge, even the school heads, when they deliver their speech, they keep on narrating some anecdotes, their own experiences, something, a new story. Then the students learn from it, as well as it is to motivate the students with appreciation, rewards, and accolades on performing well in academics and co curricular activities. Whatever the results of all co curricular activities, the prizes are given on stage during morning assembly. When the students they get 90% and above marks in board examination 10th or 12th, those students are also felicitated in the morning assembly. The reason, the intention behind this is that the others get motivated. Today they are standing, tomorrow we will stand. So that in order to motivate the students who all are performing well in academics as well as non-academics, so everybody is rewarded, and the platform is the general assembly, the assembly. Now what is the benefit? Again, the power to unify, core values are developed, they learn social discipline. If your assembly is of 1,000 students, there's a pin drop silence. Why? Because there is discipline. The student, the students know that they are standing in assembly. They need to maintain discipline. This is actually the regulation, rules, and it comes under rules and regulation of the school. So they learn to be disciplined in a social area. So they are supposed to be disciplined when they go out, also, they remain in discipline. Confidence is built, interest in other co-curricular activities are developed. When they see that, especially the new one, when they join the school, they see that I have not participated in the competition, others have participated and they got the prize. Why not me? Next time I will work hard. I'll also win the accolade. So even for assembly, a schedule can be prepared in advance, dates can be decided, and the sections class will be divided accordingly. And the special days which I was talking, which is recognized by UNESCO, these can be celebrated at special assembly to commemorate the day. Some of the days I want to mention is International Day for Yoga, World Music Day, World Population Day, Doctors Day, Girl Child Day, Hiroshima Nagasaki Day. Means there are many days identified by UNESCO. If we wish, we can celebrate it as special assembly. The assembly time can extend to a 10 or 15 minutes, where the child can enact. Even we have the Kargil Vijay Divas. There the children perform one act play to develop the feeling of patriotism amongst the others, that how the martyrs of our nation have fought back at that time to bring freedom for the country, to how they have done this. Again, the special assemblies are performed by different houses. Even we judge the assembly, we can judge the assembly. The purpose behind is, our intention behind is to motivate for maximum participation, and we give prizes also for the best assembly. For three best assemblies we give prizes as well to the class. The first one of the rubric is presentation, fluency, choice of the theme, display board decoration. If a class or if a house is performing an assembly, they need to decorate a display board as well, related to the theme, related to that special day. The entire board is decorated. So those also get the marks. Time management, very important. If it is a general assembly, if it is a class assembly, it is in between 5 to 8 minutes. If it is a special assembly, then the time extend to 10 to 15 minutes. And the house or the class need to complete their assembly within that stipulated time. And most important, discipline. The one who is performing on stage is speaking, others are waiting for their turn. They should be disciplined. So, overall, the presentation should be a disciplined one that also carries marks. We'll take a 2 minutes break and then we'll begin with another, means the remaining part of the presentation, which carries the NCC, NSS, and other things. If anyone want to ask something, we can go for that. Is there any query? We can take it, or shall I proceed?
Yes, madam, you can proceed. It was very nice presentation.
Thank
And
you.
we
Thank you so
also,
much.
yeah, we are also doing the things in our schools, like the assembly presentation and
Yes,
on
ma'am.
different occasions. and also we are dividing the days and assigning the different days to different classes to give the presentation and about the latest news, general knowledge things, and also
Yes, ma'am. Actually,
yeah,
this gives
different
them a motivation. The students get
yeah.
excited that we are the part of these things. We give them free hand. Choose the
Yes, ma'am.
topic, bring the contents, and then we can have it.
Yeah, because the students they excel in different fields. Some may be
Yes,
excellent in scholastic activities, others may
right,
excel in
right.
different sports
In
and other
co-scholastic
co-curriculum.
one, yes. Overall, the
Yeah,
class become the best one. Yeah, right, ma'am.
yeah, yes. We are doing, and
Okay.
by your inspiration, we will also excel in this field also. And
Thank you so much.
the
I'm there to
different.
guide you anytime.
Yes, ma'am. It was,
Yes.
and your pronunciation, accent, and intonations are also very much inspiring to us.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, I'm continuing it. We'll finish it up within time. It's nothing much left, only some part is left. That's why I've taken a break of 2 minutes. Okay, now we'll go for managing and leading school NCC, Red Cross, NSS, Scouts and Guides. These are also practiced in our school, means in every school. So first we'll take NCC. As we know, the founder of NCC was Lord Baden-Powell, and this is a flag of NCC. Even it's a badge which is attached at the calf of their shoulders, as the students, those who participate, means take NCC, they
मीटिंग
used to have this.
मैडम
Hello.
एक्सक्यूज मी हाँ
Yes
मैडम
sir.
एनसीसी के फाउंडर बताएं थोड़ा
जी sir.
एनसीसी फाउंडर बताएं
ये लॉर्ड बैडन पॉवल.
और एनएसएस का
सर अभी आ रहे
उल्टा
हैं
हो रहा
उसमें.
है ये तो एनसीसी एनएसएस के फाउंडर है मैडम
सर ने लिए.
चलिए बी कंटिन्यू मैम प्लीज
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Just a minute. Uh, Founder. Okay, so National Cadet Corps, it is a military cadet corps of India that provides basic military training to the students of the school and colleges. It compromises the army, navy, and air force, and it aims to groom students into disciplined and patriotic citizens. The trained NCC students are not liable to join active military services after completing the training. It's not that once the child has taken NCC training is liable to be the part of any of the any of the national military services. And what is the objective of NCC? The motto of NCC is unity and discipline. And in living up to its motto, what is the act is cohesive force of the nation that brings together the youth hailing from different parts of the country and grooms them into united, secular, and disciplined citizen of the nation. NCC doesn't mean that it's only in your school. They have their camps all over the country, and every cadet, NCC cadet, they used to go to those camps, and those camps are conducted for a week or maybe 3 4 days. So every youth of the country, they come together, they have time to interact with each other so that they can be groomed and they become united, and the spirit of secularism and being a disciplined citizen of the nation is developed and is inculcated in the students. Now, how a school can apply for NCC? The school must be affiliated with a battalion of the NCC group. And if the school is not affiliated with the battalion, then they can enroll in NCC training program. In Chhattisgarh, it's 8 CG battalion. The school can get themselves affiliated with this. If not, then they can search for nearby group headquarters. They directly admit cadets on the basis of physical test depends on the vacancies at the headquarter. It's not that many people can be acquainted. It's based on the vacancies. How many vacancies are there? On that basis, the students or the children are selected. And at school level, students can enroll in NCC in JD and JW, junior division or junior wing. And this course is for 2 years. So, in order to join NCC in school has very simple procedure. First, the student need to contact the teacher in charge. There are teacher in charges for NCC, school's NCC unit, and the children, they have to submit the consent or permission letter which they get from their parents, that the parents have no objection in sending their child to join NCC. A form is provided which is supposed to be filled and submitted to the in charges. And the most basic criteria is the student must be 13 years old. It's very important. Below under 13 years are not eligible to be the NCC cadet. So in schools, the cadets get A certificate. After completion of the course, then they can get B and C certificates in college. In school, they completed the A certificate, and if they want to pursue further, they can go for B and C certificates. And then the students can even even awarded with Best Cadet Award, Raksha Mantri Award, and Prime Minister's Award based on their performance, based on their uh, ability which they have performed better in any of the national camps or any of the camps which are held for them. And if anybody is interested for their schools to get affiliated in NCC, the address of 8th CG Girls Battalion is DDU Nagar. In Deen Dayal Upadhyay Nagar, the battalion office is situated, and the contact number is this. So you can contact, anybody can pick the phone, and if you tell your purpose, they will definitely help you out. Now, Red Cross Society, we know the use of Red Cross Society is an international organization that helps people during the war, floods, or any pandemics. And Indian Red Cross Society, it's a voluntary humanitarian organization which protects human life and health of Indians. It is part of International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, and so shares the fundamental principles of International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. The objective is to provide relief in times of disasters, emergencies, and promoting health and care of vulnerable people and communities. The people, those who are not able to take care of themselves, and the communities which are totally ruined because of any disaster. Maybe nowadays we can see the news coming of excessive floods in all the maximum states of India. So at these particular time, this Red Cross Society, they develop one of the camp in those area. They form any of the camps, and then they used to treat these people. They give them medicines, they give them food, they give them clothing, everything just to promote them to get rid of their disasters. Now, in school, how to implement Red Cross Society in school? What we can do is we can have a health and wellness club in which we can train our students in the way that they can promote health and care, and they can be provided with necessary needs in case of disaster. Maybe if we are living in Chhattisgarh and if some disaster happens here, so if our kids are trained, if everybody is trained to how to manage the disaster, then it will be beneficial for all the people. So we can give them basic trainings how to promote health and care and how to work in case of such disaster. Then students, they can be taught to prepare themselves in case of emergency. In schools, every school has fire alarms, and we can have practice of means by clicking the fire alarm, we can have a practice how much time it's being taken by the students to gather in a safe place. We can have a fire drill practice. We can have fire extinguisher practice, or if in case of any other such emergency, how what all the doors or what all the stairs are there to get themselves rescued, how to prepare themselves during emergency. These kind of trainings can be given. And then first aid training, which is very important. All those general remedies, all those general uh, the common diseases, the common problems which arises, those can be trained to them so that it could be taken care of. The students can take care of those simple problems and they can come with the remedies. And the Red Cross Society, the disaster management team, the fire brigade team, they can visit the school from time to time to train the students how to combat the disaster. And even they can give demonstration. The entire fire brigade team with the firefighters and everything, they come to the school, they tell the students how to extinguish fire and what all happens and how they can rescue themselves and how they can uh, keep themselves safe until and unless a helping hand or the people come to help them. So before getting the help, how to keep themselves safe, these kind of trainings are also being given to the school students. Now NSS in Ravi Shankar University, the contact person is Mrs. Neeta Bajpai. She deals with NSS, and it's a central scheme of Government of India and Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. It also provides opportunity to the students of class 11th and 12th. They can take part in various government-led community services and activities and programs. So what is the objective of NSS? Is to provide experience to young students in delivering community service. Community service means to help the community, to help the vulnerable people, to help the people who are in need, and they become experienced from the very young age, and they help the others in doing this community services. Now, what all activities are performed by NSS? National integration camps are conducted where all the NSS cadets go and they perform various activities. There are certain adventure program because they are also trained to be physically fit. Then NSS Republic Day parade are done. Those selective cadets of NSS are allowed to go for the Republic Day parade. Then national youth festivals are conducted from time to time. National Service Scheme awards are given. These children are being awarded for being the best performers. What are the functions of NSS? They held camps annually, which are founded by the Government of India. And these camps are usually located in the rural village or any suburb of the city, means the outskirt of the city. And the volunteers, they have to perform the activities like cleaning of those areas. They need to plant more plants or trees. Afforestation, they have to promote afforestation. And they are divided into groups, small groups, and they are segregated to different parts, and they keep on creating awareness regarding social issues, social problems, importance of education and cleanliness. Even they also conduct the rallies spreading awareness amongst the people. Then they used to conduct the health camps where various doctors are being invited, and the diseases or some of the problems of those villagers or those people living in the outskirts of the cities can be solved. Now we come to Scouts and Guides. Scouts and Guides is an approved type of character training and preparation for the good citizenship. This is designed for the benefits of boys and girls. Before going to NCC, NSS, the first stage is Scouts and Guides. And it gives a sense of responsibility, a trustworthiness, and an individual opportunity for developing initiative and leadership so that they can promote self control. They can control themselves rather being impulsive or rather being aggressive. They can control themselves. They can promote their self control, and they will become more reliant to themselves. They will become more self responsible, and they become more trustworthy. They can become a very good citizen with the leadership qualities. What is the objective of scouting and guiding? It's a fun with a purpose. It's also fun, but it also gives lessons of life. It's helped the boys and girls to be happy, healthy, as well as responsible citizens. The scouting and guiding, they complements the school, means these are the complementary activities rather than education. And family, this is also very important. They fill the needs not met by either. And scouting develops self knowledge and the need to explore, to discover the world beyond the classroom. Because those who are not participating in Scout Guide or NCC or NSS, they are restricted to the classroom, restricted to the classroom teaching. But the Scout guys, the NCC cadets, the NSS cadets, they get an opportunity, they get chances to go to some other place for attending camps, to meet many people, to explore the new world, to discover the world beyond their classroom, and to improvise their skills, and to learn and become a overall a holistic developed person, to become a well-rounded person, a well-developed human being, a very good citizenship for India. And if this basic uh, skills are inculcated from the very early period of schooling, these children are definitely going to succeed in future. Now, the activities which are performed in scouting and guiding, like first is pyramid making activity. Uh, This activity is designed to improve the balancing skill, how the students can balance themselves. You must have seen how they make the pyramids. Four or five students are kneeling down at the ground, then three on their uh, back, and then two, then one. In this way, they make the pyramid. And it takes time. It does not come in a day or two's practice. It takes time, it takes dedication and determination. After that, it becomes easy for the kids. They learn how to balance. Then, during the celebration of Independence Day, Republic Day, Annual Sports Day, they are the part of March Past team. They conduct the disciplinary skills among the students. This discipline is developed among the students. Next is not making is taught to students for different practical uses in future. Maybe if the child is lost in a forest or any area in a mountainous region. So if the child has a rope with him or her, and they know all the knots which are used or which are taught during scouting, they can help themselves rescue from those situations. Even they come across some animals, they can tie them with some typical kind of knot which the animals are not able to open and run out. So these things are there. Even students are being trained in kabaddi to develop self-defense skills and teach to develop and maintain health sanitization, cleanliness and awareness. So this is very important. From the very childhood, the children, they know how to defend themselves, how to protect themselves, even others, how to develop and maintain health, sanitization, as well as cleanliness and awareness, how to develop awareness regarding cleanliness, everything they learn from the very childhood. And these are the awards which the students are bestowed with. They get the Governor's Award at state level. President's Award at national level is given to Scouts and Guides for their best performance. Even there are certain reservation that they can get jobs also in government institution if they are a president awardee, or they can become the mentors, they can become the trainers, and they can train the other school children to be the scout and guides. So this is all. If anybody has any question, we can go for it. Any question, anybody?
No, madam, everything was all right. Very good presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. I
Uh,
saw in the Google this the founder of NCC is Mr. Kunjuru, and Red Cross founder is Baden Powell.
actually, it
Yes.
was something a mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I apologize for that.
Yes. No, no. Through this, I also happened to search and gain the knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. Okay, ma'am. Sir, can we stop end here?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
We are done with it.
You
Thank
had
you, everyone.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, madam. You had presented the different marking scheme for culture art activities,
Yes, yes,
and
ma'am.
that music that was very good. I took it as a screenshot. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, anytime.
I have shared this PPT with in WhatsApp group also, so you can download it from there. Okay,
Sir
thank
has shared the
you.
PPT with.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for being the passionate leader. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
NCRT, for giving me this opportunity.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am, and thanks to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
Okay, so now I'm ending the meeting here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Srivastava.